Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, hard drives are hard. I love the smell of hot paper in the morning. Circular reasoning works because hard drives are hard. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Hard drives are hard. I've supported NAS products for many years, and occasionally you get hard drive failures. This is two short stories. First one takes place with a university. They had a NAS at every site that stored a lot of geological research data. One site seemed to be cursed. The storage would often be sluggish, and it had a much higher rate of disk failure than all their other sites. We even replaced the whole unit, but they kept on getting frequent failures. We finally had them swap the unit at the remote site with one from their main office, and the failures continued to be at the remote site. Something was going on at that site. We got on a conference call with the remote site and the main office to discuss the issue further. System was in a secure rack, this is their only storage, and they have always had a history of high disk failure at that site on all equipment. Strange. I discussed the issue with a friend that worked at IBM, this is back when IBM made hard drives. He asked me at what elevation is the site, because most hard drives are rated for a max of 10,000 feet. Turns out the site is at an observatory at the top of a volcano, and the elevation was well over 12,000 feet. Hard drives need to breathe, or at least the head needs to float on a cushion of air. The thin air at the high elevation caused frequent head crashes. Their only solution was to switch to very expensive, at the time, solid-state storage. Second story, different storage company, different customer, similar symptoms, also geological info. A site had frequent disk failures, and the failures were only at that site. Shipping the unit to a different site made the problems go away. I got pulled into the case and I said, aha, is the site at a high elevation? I was told no, it is at sea level. Interesting. We had them ship the unit to us and sent them a different, burned-in unit. We couldn't get theirs to fail, but our tested unit started crashing with disk errors within a week. I was truly stumped. The issue didn't happen all the time, but it was rather frequent. I got on a long conference call with the customer home office and the site to fully discuss the issue. A few hours into the call, the site said that they will have to disconnect because a storm was coming. I started asking questions such as, is this on a UPS, is auto shutdown enabled, etc. They let me know that consistent power isn't an issue because the site runs off a generator that is rated for sensitive electronics. They have to go and seal hatches and strap things down. Hatches? The NAS in question was on an oil exploration rig. I learned that oil rigs float, and they rock with the sea when it gets choppy. When they told me sea level, they were 100% accurate. I've learned that sometimes, it's best to get on the phone with the customer and not assume anything. Even the smallest detail might be a clue into what the issue is. I love the smell of hot paper in the morning. I'm sitting in my office, pretending to do work, when a coworker stops by my office. They tell me that a long report has been printing on the main printer for a few minutes and isn't stopping. I take a look at the print queue, but the job's gone already, so we both head down to the printer to see what's up. Sure enough, there's what amounts to a hot ream of paper sitting in the out tray, with more pages coming after it. I cancel the print. There's a big button on the printer screen that says cancel job. This will be important for later, and I take a look at some of the printed papers. It's customer-related charges, info that is usually secured, and there's a lot of it. No one is coming out to claim their newly printed tree, so I begin the process of finding out who the culprit was. I ask a few of the offices around, but no one fesses up. I'm worried no one will at all, until I round the corner of our newest program manager's office. He's red, embarrassed red. I'm sure he could hear me asking down the hallway, getting closer and closer to him. Me, hey, did you print something from the system? I ask, pretending like I can't feel the heat coming off of him. Him, yeah, I printed it by accident. Me, okay. Him, yeah, and I didn't know how to cancel the job. I blink and in a few seconds of silence, I scream in my head, you didn't see the large cancel job button or think to ask someone. You were just going to let 400 pages of quasi-confidential information print out for no reason? Instead, I said, please let me know as soon as possible the next time something like this happens. The job can be cancelled right on the printer. He nodded. I dumped the stack of paper in the shredder bin on my way back to my office, and I mentally removed him from my people who have 2 brain cells to rub together list. Circular reasoning works because circular reasoning works because. Came across this gem today while trying to clean up some old tickets that have been lying around for far too long and haven't stopped laughing about it yet. Figured it'd give everyone here a good laugh too. User calls the service desk, reports having issues connecting to Citrix. Agent does standard troubleshooting, still not working, so it gets sent to Tier 2 for further assistance. Except, there is a key piece of information missing. A very key piece. Perhaps, the most important part of all the $%***G name of the user. Now, our ticketing system is a hot piece of jank, so if you don't put the user's name in the correct spot, it defaults it to the agent who made the ticket, because reasons, I don't get nearly paid enough to make those decisions. So naturally, Tier 2 sent it right back, because they have no way of contacting the user having the issue, and to re-escalate with the correct information. Agent realized their mistake, updated the ticket properly, and the end user got their help right? Come now, it wouldn't be a TFTS story if it ended there. When the ticket comes back, a different agent picks it up, and looked at the comments and reached out to the initial agent to add in the end user's name, immediately sends the ticket back to Tier 2, without ever looking at the comments. Luckily, I grabbed it the 3rd time around, so we can get off this ride now. Well, except for the inevitable conversions those 2 agents are going to need about proper documentation. But those kinds of conversations require a special kind of drink, and I'm pretty thirsty right about now. Hard drives are hard. A little short story. Working in a public school isn't the easiest IT gig. Budgets are tight, and there's quite a make do and mend and don't fix what isn't broken attitude to IT procurement. That make do and mend philosophy had me retrofitting SSDs into machines that were otherwise acceptably spec'd, 3rd Gen i5s, for gigabytes RAM, enough to work with. This left us with a stack of 3.5 HDDs of various capacities, mainly 320 gigabytes and 500 gigabytes. Well, time comes to clear out some space. The 320 GBs are just a bit too small and slow to be of use, but the 500 GBs probably still have some life on them. So we pull the several 320 GBs off the shelf and go ham with the data protection officer, also known as a ball-peen hammer. You call that a hammer? This is a hammer. Our site manager comes rolling along with his 6-pound sledgehammer. Despite the progress we're making beating the living crap out of these drives, site manager wants to show off his might. Whack. One drive completely obliterated. I bet I can speed it up if I stack M. Whack. 2 drives obliterated in one stroke. He stacks 3 up. Whack. Ow. As he hit the stack, one of the drive flung up, bounced and got him right in the gentleman's vegetables. After recovering from the plum shot and hit on his pride, he decided to leave data destruction to the IT department.